In this dark future, there is only one sport. Robofight. You wanted it, and we listened to allow even the greenest engineers to take part in the fights. From now on, we don't give a flying lunatic wheel about power scores. The only big rule is that all your fighters should look like robots. Apart from that, just make sure that your robo-fighters can hold their own in a melee fight. Firearms aren't prohibited. Who doesn't like a good DACA? But don't overdo it. Today, two heavyweight warriors fight in the remains of the Station Control 17. On the left, a monster created by Master Berserker Gang in the shadows of the Great Sepulchre. A nightmare made real, ready to take on any robo-fighter of the wastes. The ruthless Baba Yaga! On the right, a steel apex predator, unstoppable and unafraid. Welcome, the brutal creation of Cracks, the lightning-fast ULTRA MANTIS. This is the best of three. You have to win 2 rounds of brutal action and havoc to be named champion. And now, round 1. YAGA kicks it off with some good old shotgun fire. Not the best choice at the distance, though. It wasn't very effective. YAGA spits out a harpoon. It's stuck in the Mantis armor. Let's see if she can bring him down. Nah, try as she might, ULTRA MANTIS is just plain heavier. The tables have turned. It's the Mantis who's doing all the dragging now. A dangerous situation for Baba Yaga. She tries to fight her way free. The harpoon cable snaps free. Shotguns are blazing. Mantis won't let go of his prey. Drags her in circles. He's ready to attack again, but she slips. She slips away. What will she do? She opts for another harpoon shot. This time, to the tail. YAGA takes her engines to the extreme, but that's still not enough. The opponent drags her along. That doesn't prevent her from making more holes in the Mantis hull with her shotguns. Sparks come flying, but it looks like Mantis just shrugs off the bullets. There's now some space between the two. What will happen next? It's a death sentence for Baba Yaga to approach the enemy from the front. The only way to really get him is to attack from the side or the back. A great hit! Just look at this beast flinging himself at his opponent. Yeah, you don't want to be hit with that. Never. Yaga knows this. She tries to keep the distance. It looks like ULTRA MANTIS has difficulties in getting out of this crater. Not that happy to be heavy now, huh? The fighters are on the level ground again. That's not a good thing for YAGA. Robots clash one more time. Mantis attacks time and time again. Have you seen this? He just cut away half of YAGA's hull. You just can't recover from that. Mantis holds tight to his prey, and YAGA bites the dust. We don't know what kind of gods this praying Mantis worships, but it seems like it works. Can YAGA turn the tide back in her favor? Let's see. Car for sale, great for fighting, delivering cargo, or even living in. Definitely not stolen. Ask for Joe 1.5 pedals, the price can be negotiated. In round 2. YAGA approaches the opponent with caution. Here come the first shots. What is this Mantis made of? Just look at that. YAGA sets on his neck, tries to cut through. If she cuts his head off, it could really... no, it goes badly for her. She loses her left arm and ULTRA MANTIS bites into her hull. YAGA really has to get away, which she does. Making use of the fact that her opponent is stuck in the crater, she feeds some lead to the Mantis armor. What will happen next? Aha! What a miraculous save! What was that? Harpoon again? Must be a feint. Yeah, it is. YAGA doesn't even try to pull. She goes away, lures the opponent into the crater again. A few shots from the remaining shotgun. What caliber do you need to stop that? A nuke, maybe. A few more shots. Still does squat damage. YAGA has nowhere to go. It's a very dangerous situation for her, but she's managed to get away. My God, that was fast as hell. Mantis turns his opponent literally in a split second. There is some space between the fighters once again. It looks like YAGA is ready to take some risks. She gets closer to get a better shot. That was a mistake. ULTRA MANTIS got her from the unprotected side. YAGA breaks free from his grip, dodges another attack, keeps firing at his head. She tries to get closer to slash it with her saw. It's a very risky move, and gets crushed by ULTRA MANTIS. After just a few seconds, there isn't much left of Baba Yaga, but she isn't a quitter, that one. She's ready to self-destruct. YAGA tries to get Mantis with her. Will she? What a glorious explosion! Alas, in the end, Baba Yaga's the only one to fall. And that means that the winner of today's robo-fight is a robo-fighter that knows no pity. The perfect predator. ULTRA MANTIS! As always, the creators of these machines will receive a reward. This will probably help them last another couple of months in the wastes. And remember, your robot can be the one we choose for the battle next time. And it can bring you wealth and eternal glory in the mayhem of smoke and explosions.